It's been a big week in the US, and while we expected to feel some impact even here from the midterm elections, we didn't necessarily anticipate the immediate cancellation of high-level talks that had been scheduled to take place in New York. I'm Alex Jensen with K News Today for Korea Now, asking what's gone wrong? And you can add your own theories in the comments below. Here's what we know so far. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was supposed to meet North Korean negotiator Kim Yong-chol. They were set to discuss the North's denuclearization as a follow-up to the first and so far only US-North Korea leaders summit. Pompeo himself was confident of making progress. But as those midterm results were coming in on an at best mixed night for the Trump administration, the State Department announced Pompeo's meeting was being postponed without offering any reason, which still leaves us wondering why. An obvious thought might be Washington was put off by North Korea's warning last week to reboot its nuclear development unless the US offers sanctions relief. But then Pompeo brushed that concern aside last weekend, telling Fox News he's not worried about rhetoric. But he also reiterated that President Trump has made his position very clear. No economic relief until we have achieved our ultimate objective. Then perhaps North Korea pulled out. Possible, but we would have expected a more frustrated tone from the US State Department if that had been the case. Perhaps talks are simply at a stalemate because neither side is showing a willingness to budge right now. And Trump may have less room to budge now his party's lost the House of Representatives, and the impact of those midterms could continue long term. The House would, for example, have to ratify any peace treaty with North Korea. Now maybe that wasn't likely anyway without more progress on denuclearization, but if Trump gets bogged down in domestic politics, he'll hardly have time for foreign policy. The man himself faced reporters after the elections and tried to explain the cancellation of Pompeo's meeting by pointing to trips that are being made. He did add that he still plans to meet North Korean Chairman Kim Jong-un, but not until sometime early next year. That leaves some room for optimism here in Seoul, but it dampens hopes for much progress within this year. A Tongwade Presidential Office spokesman has played down the idea that dialogue has lost steam, even if another senior foreign ministry official did admit the New York meeting's cancellation was regrettable. A prolonged lack of formal talks will likely affect the schedule for Chairman Kim's planned visit to Seoul and the pace of inter-Korean cooperation. Despite all this, the Koreas and the US-led UN command did hold talks Tuesday over a set of issues related to the disarmament of the joint security area in the demilitarized zone. They agreed to draw up joint rules of interaction governing guard duty, according to Seoul's defense ministry. Once disarmament is fully completed, Koreans and foreign tourists will be allowed to cross the military demarcation line from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The South and North will each station a patrol of 35 unarmed soldiers there. So progress is being made, at least in some quarters, but we're left with some of the same old obstacles, plus things that may have become even tougher for Trump's agenda. Now American Democrats have more of a foothold at home.